Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here today. I'm just warming up the body to begin with. I'm just bouncing with my feet flat on the ground and twisting, bouncing and twisting. Maybe just let your head feel a little bit heavy and moving, forward to the side, sort of this gentle bouncing with the head in different positions. It's an easy way to move all these bones and muscles. And then coming to stillness, and now just moving the head and the back. So up and down, but letting the back take some of the movement. And then twisting the head from side to side. Again, letting the shoulders twist a little bit. And then letting the twist come all the way up your legs. So the legs moving a little, the hips and the shoulders twisting. And then coming to stillness, just going from side to side. And again, letting the back move a little with this. So bringing the head to the side, but also letting your hand just move down the side of the body. And then if you'd like, bringing one hand overhead. And side to side. Once again on each side. And trying to stay upright. All right, and then just looking up and pausing here. And moving the mouth. Jutting the chin out. And feeling the stretch in the front of the neck. And then coming to neutral and moving the shoulders. So back and forwards. And then back one shoulder at a time. And leaning into this. Let your knees be soft. And going in the other direction. And then just moving your arms in front and behind. Sort of pulsing and changing which arm is on top. And then just feeling this nice stretch in the shoulders. And then moving the arms and the hands. And just feeling the wrists sort of warming up here and the fingers. Good. And then Moving the hips from side to side. And again, just letting your hands come down the side of the body. And then big circles with the hips. And going the other direction. And coming into just a little bit of a hinge. Putting your hands and your head hang here and pulsing a little bit. And then I'm just coming to the side, one side and then the other, still pulsing. And rounding back up, rounding the back up, letting your head come up last. And just taking a moment to sort of equilibrate. And then bringing up one heel, just pressing down into the toes, rolling the foot from side to side. And then circling the foot. It's feeling all those little joints sort of moving. Sort of in the toes, the base of the toes, the ankle. And then the other side, lifting the other heel, pressing down. Just rolling the foot from side to side, big toe to the little toe. Feeling that movement at the base of the toes, and then circling great. And then why don't we come into the chair and with weights or a band. I'm going to use a band. And we're gonna do some foot presses, leg presses. So putting the band under the foot, bending the knee, holding on to the band, keeping your upper arms close to the body. And then extending the foot and bringing it back. And do this slowly. Feeling the muscles. And letting your shoulders be relaxed as best you can. Bring your shoulders away from the ears. Your face relaxed. Especially your jaw. And changing feet. And then pressing and letting the weight come back. And letting it come back slowly, you can feel just about as much work in those muscles, the bringing it back, as there is in the pressing it out. And then putting the foot down, we'll do some sit to stand or squats. So you can just hold on to weights if you want, or you can put the band under your feet and then hold on. Yeah. The band is one long circle, so I'm just putting my hands in here again, keeping your arms still, sitting close to the front of the chair, leaning forward and standing up. And so we'll just sit to stand. And don't hold your breath. Breathe out on the hard part that feels like you're expending the most energy. You should breathe out, because that's our tendency at that point, is to hold our breath. Once again, and then staying up. And you can use the band. I'm going to use weights for this, for arm exercises. And so bands or weights, whichever works best for you. But we'll do one hand forward, the other one to the side. And then switching. If you're using a band, and just do one arm at a time. As we stand here, keep your stomach pulled in. Feel your weight evenly distributed between both feet, between the front of the foot and the back of the foot. One weight down. And if you're doing one arm at a time with the bands, then switch arms. And keeping your elbows bent a little bit. With the shoulders relaxed. I notice with myself is if I'm using any kind of weights and I feel like my shoulders are moving up toward my ears, for me, that's a pretty good sign that the weights are too heavy. And if I'm trying to use other muscles that I wasn't intending to work. Okay. Coming to stillness. I'm going to do biceps curls. So the palms forward. And noticing your hands. You don't want to hold on to the weights so tightly that, you're white knuckled. Don't do that. Now, if you want, just little moves. You can have them go at the same time. Usually alternate them just because it's more interesting. And if you want, change the angle, move your hands toward the side a little bit, keeping your elbows close to the body, I'm just going to sort of come in toward the center and out toward the side. And with these little moves, now the muscles just stay engaged. Probably starting to notice that. And shoulders and face relaxed. All right. And now, still holding on to the weights, just doing some shoulder rolls. One direction and then the other. And then with palms facing each other, bending the knees, having a little bit of a hinge where the hips come back. And then just straightening the arms and bending the elbows. So again, keeping the upper arms close to the body. And here we're working the triceps, muscles on the back of the arms. And then if you want, turn your hands so that your palms are facing back. And it's gonna still use those muscles, use them a little bit differently. The triceps, so there's sort of three parts of the muscle. And coming to stillness, putting the weights down for now, and just kind of moving your arms. And coming back into the chair. And sitting kind of toward the front of the chair. And pulling your stomach in. And just pulling the belly back. And then from here, bringing hands to your chest. And just turning from side to side. While the stomach is pulled back. Find this move to be deceptive. Because like I'm not moving very far and I'm not doing very much, but I can usually tell the next day that I've been working my obliques, the side muscles. And coming to stillness. Now extending the feet and sort of a little bit at an angle. And we're just going to reach forward to bring the opposite hands to the feet. Keep your tummy pulled in. And coming to stillness. And now with the hands sort of behind the head, doing high knees. And bringing the opposite elbow toward the knee. And keep your stomach tight. And then just pausing, maybe pulling back on the knees a little, looking up, just sort of stretching the front of the body a little. And then coming back to sitting upright, the tight tummy, pressing down here, pressing down on the legs. And then just lifting one heel and then the other while pressing down. Again, noticing all the muscles, another kind of deceptive move. You can feel all the muscles in your shoulders, upper chest, upper back, your legs. This is especially good for the calves. And now lifting the whole foot, continuing to press down. And you can feel this even more in the stomach and in the big muscles of the thighs. And coming to stillness. And now with hands at home, bringing both feet out, and down to the center, bringing them back. And you can feel this in the muscles in the inner thighs. And then coming again to stillness. And then lifting one knee. And then just extending and flexing the knee. Keep your foot engaged. And really feel as if you're moving against resistance. So you come out extended, sort of feel the quadriceps falling up. When you pull your knee back, tighten the leg. And switch sides. Again, really feeling those muscles work. All right, and coming to stillness, maybe get a drink of water, turn off your phone if you forgot that. Okay. And so coming back to a standing posture. And once again, the high knees. And bringing the opposite elbow for the knee. And then a step back and a punch. So we're punching with the same side that we're stepping back. So a little bit of a bend when you step back. And coming back to high knees. Breathing. And then tightening the belly in kind of a wide stance. And staying on one side. Maybe letting that back foot pivot a little bit. Belly pulled in. Letting your gaze follow your hands, unless it makes you dizzy, and then finding letting your gaze follow the wall or the horizon, not something moving. Pausing, and now going in the other direction. And coming back to high knees. Now we'll do side crunches. Stay on one side. Keep breathing. Change sides. Pause for a moment. And coming back to high knees. Now we'll do a curtsy lunge, one foot behind, and then bringing the opposite hand down to that front foot. And then let's switch it up here and do seal jacks. And now high knees. Now kicking, instead of high knees, high kick, bringing the opposite hand forward, so not leaning into it, just stretching into it. And fast feet. And step back and punch forward. And coming back to seal jacks. And coming back to high knees and mat pull down. So just pulling the hands down to the knees as if pulling against resistance. So really engaging your arms. And then if you want, clapping under the knees, if there's something else to do. And then coming into a wide stance and a squat, maybe 2 squats, and then punching either side. And after you're coming up from the second squat, letting your hips sort of stabilize before punching. So feeling the muscles and joints sort of coming back to stillness. And coming back to seal jacks. And maybe letting these slow down now. And just coming back to walking in place. Toe to heel. Letting your hips move, sort of exaggerated, just to help loosen up some of those muscles that we've been holding tight. If your breath is fast or shallow, it's okay. But, then breathing in through your nose and out through pursed lips. If the breathing is fast. Pausing here, getting a drink of water. I'm going to use the chair for balance. And so here, just lifting one foot out to the side. Keep your foot flexed so that it's not dragging on the floor. I'm really feeling the gluteal muscles on the side. Keep your stomach pulled in. Now pausing and now lifting that foot behind you. And keeping the body upright. So we're not, hinging into this. It's just the foot, the leg coming back. You can just feel these large muscles engage. The stronger our gluteal muscles are, the stronger our belly is, the safer our low back is. Okay. Let's switch sides. So just lifting to the side. Sometimes I'll just lean against a wall, get the side of my body close to a wall when I do this. Feels like I can remain a little bit more upright and leaning on a chair, even though I can get the chair awfully close and not really be leaning into the chair. And now going back. Keep your stomach pulled in. And again, just feeling these large muscles engage. Okay, coming back to walking in place. Sort of exaggerating, again, the hip movements. Sort of loosen up that area a little bit. And from here, just coming into a hinge. So I've got sort of my hands on my knees, and my hips come back. And I'm just bending and straightening my knees. And it's a nice way just to stretch out the low back muscles. I feel like one of those birds that bobs over a glass of water. And then coming upright, again, straightening up slowly. And now we'll do a hinge and swim. So hinging, hands out, and then coming up. So sort of a hinge with a breaststroke. And again, really engage the muscles in the arms. When you pull back, just imagine that you're pulling through heavy air. And coming to stillness. And then taking a wide stance. Again, just coming down into a squat. And if you're comfortable, just holding this for a little while, seeing if you can really get your knees to go back, feel your knees moving towards the space behind you, letting your back be long, your chin tucked in. And certainly coming out of this anytime you feel like it, or, just sort of staying here. Breathing, letting your shoulders be relaxed. And now just pressing down, coming up, and moving side to side. And then once again, coming down into a squat. And just pausing here again. Letting your face be relaxed. And pressing down. Great. And while we're there, I'm just going to grab one weight. Do this sort of golf swing move. So standing with my feet wide, bending one knee, bringing the weight down toward the inside of that foot, and then overhead. And then going to the other side. And doing this at whatever speed feels best to you. Feeling all the muscles that you're using a lot of big muscles here. And your gaze sort of follow the weight. So again, I'll have my head in that general direction, but if I start to feel, a little dizzy or something, I'll look at something that's not moving. Look at the floor when the weight is down, look at the ceiling. All right. Bringing the feet together, and we're going to come back to the chair. Sitting toward the front of the chair. And then leaning back, putting your hands on the chair, if that's helpful. I'm going to bring both feet up and then extend one foot and then the other. Maybe try extending both feet a couple of times, then go back to one foot at a time, which now feels easy. Keeping your stomach tight. You probably don't have any choice but to have your stomach tight. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Keep breathing. And the stillness, once again, just stretching the stomach muscles out a little bit. And then pulling in the belly and with the hands in front. Once again, turning side to side. And you can play with this. You know, there are different muscles that you're using. If your gaze is following your hands, so you have the head and the shoulders moving together, or if you keep your gaze forward, and you're just moving the hands, you can feel different groups of the abdominal muscles engaging. And stillness. Letting your hands come behind you and pulsing your hands back. Rounding your back and pushing your hands in front of you, palms toward the floor, and then turning palms up and pulling your elbows back, taking a breath. As you breathe out, round and push. As you breathe in, extend, pull. And do it at your pace, the pace of your breath, not mine. And then stretching in one arm in front, and either bending the elbow and gently pushing, or keeping the arm straight and gently pulling it toward the body. But either way, just feeling the stretch in the back of the shoulders. And the other arm. Breathing here, you can imagine that you can breathe into the part of the body that we're kind of paying attention to. Now again, letting your hands come back, looking up a little bit, pulsing your hands back, feeling that stretch in the front of the shoulders, the upper chest. And extending one foot and leaning toward it. Bring your foot from side to side. And coming up, the other foot, extending the leg, leaning forward, just until you feel the stretch. The back of the leg. And moving your foot from side to side. And here now you can feel different fibers in the calf muscles. Stretching out. Back. Bringing one foot on top of the other leg or just crossing your legs. Moving the leg from side to side. And then letting your legs come to stillness and bending forward. And just until you feel this deep stretch in the hip, you want moving your leg just a little bit, but really pay attention to that stretch. This isn't an area that you want to overstretch. Okay, coming back, changing legs. Yeah, just sort of moving this side to side so you can feel the movement, but also this is just helping to sort of loosen up those muscles before we lean into them. And then coming to stillness and leaning forward. Keep your foot flexed, your shoulders and your face relaxed. And moving a little bit. If you feel the stretch, but it feels like you're still sort of relaxed around that area. If you feel the stretch, but it feels like everything's tight, don't move it. Back off a little bit. And then bringing both feet to the floor. Looking up toward the ceiling. Once again, opening the mouth and then kind of extending the lips as if you're making vowel sounds of ah. Ooh. You might hear that inside the head, kind of stretching out the eustachian tubes. And just gently looking up and down, side to side. And then putting your hands behind your head and pressing your head back. And then letting go. Maybe doing that once again, pressing your head back into your hands. You can really feel the neck muscles tightening. And then when you let go, feeling that relaxing, sort of flowing through the neck. And just pausing here. Just pausing here to feel inside your body. Noticing the warmth in the body, maybe the movement of the breath or the pulse. Just for a few moments, letting your attention just rest on the breath. I'm not trying to make it be a certain way, not thinking about the breath, but just feeling the breath inside the body. gentle expanding and relaxing of the core. Just any sensations that you notice of the life within the body, warmth, tingling. And acknowledging yourself for making time to do this.